Are you also, for the recording to work properly, do you need to also be sharing your screen with me or
Yes.
to capture that?
Yeah. Else, it will just be a voice recording. So,
Right. Yeah, I
okay.
can see it now.
Okay. So, in this line, I mean, of course, I already had some game in this line. So bishop f4 is anyway the best move. You just need to get out to make way for your knight. And so this, so far everything is like very much theoretical, and you just need to go knight e5 here. So you can
Mm-hmm.
see white has a very stable position, and white is slowly getting ready to play knight c3 and e4. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why knight e5 was played, so that anytime dc4 happens, at least you have some pressure on c6, as well as the c4 pawn is anyway defended.
Mm-hmm.
So rook c8, knight c3, and h6. So here, when somebody plays a move like h6, I can already understand that he or she is not that well acquainted with the lines, because h6 here serves nothing. So it's basically a waiting move, right?
Right.
And it's an unnecessary move because it doesn't do anything against the move e4. So I just have a very bad feeling about this h6 move. I did check some lines and I found that knight e5 was played earlier, and white got a pretty decent amount of edge after this position happened. So seems like white is doing fine here.
Yeah.
So the moment e4 comes, already black is struggling with a lot of space issues. So we can keep that in mind. But okay, h6 and we just go e4. So this is the standard position that we will be looking at. And here already I'm feeling that black is playing something weird. So this hardly seems correct. And the decision of taking bishop e5 also is very interesting. So I got this position, and I already believe that white is doing pretty good here. So you can imagine if you get a position like this right from the opening, I think we don't need to worry about anything else.
Yep, for sure.
So what I felt was in this position, I mean, this was my opponent's idea actually. He probably missed the tactics, but my opponent's idea was to give up the bishop and then take the bishop by force because my rook was on d3. He missed bishop h7.
Oh, wow. Nice move. Yeah.
So we just missed bishop h7, and after king h8, I just played rook d6. So I think you will be pretty crazy to go g6 right now. Something should be happening.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I think I also had a backup option that even if you go g6, I mean, irrespective of the fact that this sacrifice works, doesn't work, I would probably also just go b4 here. Seems very, very normal in this position. So if you
Yeah.
take this, I'd just take this. Although during the game, I was seriously considering to go for this line. And I just figured out that if he goes queen g7, which seems to be the only defensive move in the position, I can pretty much take on g7 and play b4 because this bishop is now lost, yeah, after rook d7.
Yep, that's true.
So the knight moves somewhere, rook d7, rook f7, and I can still take on f7 and get the other rook to d7. So I
Yep.
was pretty much happy that, okay, it will be an end game with like a couple of extra pawns and should be winning for me anyway. So a5 was played, and this is where I forced his knight out of c5 and, just get your bishop back. So this is close to losing, yeah, you can say, back here.
Hmm.
Because I really did not see any counterplay for black. And okay, he finally, I mean, the time when he managed to play c5, bishop at 6k.
Okay. So you'll just play queen d2 or something next move?
Rook e6 is threatened. Like if you take on h6, just rook e6.
Oh, nice.
And I did not see.
D6.
So now I'll just play queen d2. Since this is open, I don't see any defense as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Just straight away lost, yeah.
Yeah.
So bishop h6. I mean, this game is just to show that even in a Catalan, like let's say, I think maybe 10% of your opponents will be knowing the exact theory of black from the black side, where you have to again, just play on the queen side and stuff like that. Most of the games happen like this, where with something weird stuff happens. And here you can see it all comes down to the middle game part. If you're able to figure out all these moves, and yeah, then it should be good for you.
Hmm. Okay.
So, I mean, eventually you do have to consider the middle game part here. But yeah, overall, I just see that White's position is pretty good and it's pretty decent enough to just play these positions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do have one more game to share in this one. So I'll just put it here. So this is one of the lines where black goes for the early c5. And you can see just by the trade of this, already black is struggling with his position. I mean, I don't even have to do anything, and black is still struggling. Yeah, you can see. So here already rook c6 came.
Mm,
So in the resulting variation, black is down a pawn in, so which should be like more than enough for me to win. So later on, I converted the endgame. So it's like a typical Catalan stuff. So because lot of the players they always have a feeling that anytime this happens and some things get neutralized, yeah, the position is equal. I don't think so. I cannot call the position is equal. It's still very complicated.
mm-hmm.
And if you remember from our previous session, we had a discussion on the fact that in the closed Catalan, there are some lines where the central tensions are like very high. So I'll try to just find out that game.
Yeah, here, I mean, I've had this position already, actually. Just you said just to trade in the center and give him the isolated pawn.
Yeah, if you get it, yes. Here I mean, you can actually just take CD5 as well. Just get the Tarash.
Yeah.
So that's also pretty much possible here. So there are different ways to just play this position, and you can choose anything.
Mm,
This game was the other line which we were discussing, that if black doesn't do anything, yeah, and just keeps the central tension. So basically, if black doesn't take this and play c5, yeah.
uh,
So here, this was the line. So I just dealt this in a very simple way. So even if you get such a position, white should be still much better. So you can see I went for the complications. And at some point, black again was finding it a bit difficult to get his pieces, on the right squares. And eventually, after the trade, you can see that black's light squares are very weak, and it's the game is kind of lost already.
mm,
So even during playing this position, I thought that black might have equalized or got something because his pieces look quite active and something might happen. But I realized that it's all like an illusion and there is no defense basically to knight d4, knight b5 ideas. So I just played b4, kicked the bishop out, and just went knight b4, knight b5. So something like this. Let's just lose the pawn. There is actually no defense to this knight b5 idea. And also remember, yeah, I'm threatening knight c6 as well.
mm.
So this is pretty much the
Okay.
whole idea in the Catalan. I mean, If you see like 5, 6 games, probably like one game in each line, that's like more than enough right now. And
Got
it's
it.
very easy to play from white as well. So why not? I think we should go for this one.
Yeah, like I said, I played a couple of games this last week, and I mean, I didn't have any major problems. I definitely felt significantly more comfortable playing them than the Ninzo.
Okay.
Way more comfortable overall, for sure. No crazy kingside attacks came. None of that getting doubled, isolated C pawns, weird things like that. Like I felt great.
Yeah.
Very happy with the choice to switch to this
Yeah.
so far. Sure,
It,
I'll
it,
have
it
some losses to show you soon, but so far it's good.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I think the more games you get, I mean, the more practice games you get, the better you will perform even in the tournament. Plus, you will have a lot of experience about the resulting positions. Yeah. So
Yeah. Like I've definitely lost the games for sure, like some of them, but not because of the opening.
yeah. That
The opening
aspect will
phase,
always be there.
yeah, opening phase went fine.
And this one was the only I mean, this one was actually a pretty complicated line. So actually in this line, the central tension makes more sense for black as well. And here I did realize that the lines basically suggested to, like, go queen f5 as quickly as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
so I just went bishop b2, and it was here I should have already gone for queen f5 move. I did not I mean, I wasn't that much, you can say, well accustomed with the Catalan stuff. So I just played rook c1, and black got this b5, which apparently was one of the main lines in this position. But this line is already considered as equal.
Mm.
So you can say that black has successfully equalized here.
Mm.
So I did try some crazy stuffs. Did not work out that well for me. But but yeah, the practicality of this move was too high, and it's like still very difficult to defend as black. So it's kind of, black had to like play a lot of weird moves to survive, and eventually got busted at some point. Just too much attack, I would say. This was my blunder. I mean, here I don't even know why I did not play knight g4 and just queen g5.
Mm.
It's like so easy. But I just played knight c4, and he also took queen d5. Mm, we both missed that there is rook e1 right now. So this was some very
Yeah.
very weird game, you can say.
Yeah.
But okay, I mean, it's just tactical. So like this is just a mistake. But from the opening, you can still see that even if like white plays some pretty standard moves, it's very difficult to play this position as black. I mean, not everybody can be, defending so accurately. So
Yes.
so basically, all these games actually will give you a good idea of what to do whenever you get a Catalan type position. And I think one of my most cleanest game is this one, which which followed theory for a very long time. I mean, I just remember that till a3 was kind of my preparation. So uh, I mean, it was just very easy game for me. Like once I got this position, I was so much satisfied with my opening play that if anything can happen in this position, it's white. So white can do a lot of stuffs here. And it's like a standard neutralizing procedure, and you just get f4 e5. Yeah.
Mm.
So if you somehow manage to like remember the proper move orders, I don't think very so much deep is necessary. Just maybe like 15 moves is like more than enough in every line, unless like we are going for some very complicated stuff.
Okay.
Okay. And I should also show you I mean, sometimes when I have faced the backlash of the Catalan as well. So I
Okay.
had a game with it where I was on the defending side of the Catalan, but in this knight c6 variation. So this Ragozin inspired one. Uh, you can see that even after like some very good preparation from both sides in this, um, still it was not that easy for me to defend. I mean, gradually I got outplayed in this opening. Actually, I did realize that in this position, bishop b5 was my mistake. I should play rook d8 somehow, rook f4, rook a if even is possible. And not so long ago, I think the Brazilian grandmaster Alexander Fia, he had a draw with it in this line. So maybe this line is like actually not that bad for black, but still the resulting position was still difficult for me. So you can see white's pressure is mounting and mounting, yeah, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, with it did convert it like very nicely. So I sacrificed a pawn to get some freedom. And you can see he also sacrificed it back to get another pawn on the seventh rank, basically. And yeah, this was a very good maneuver. And he even gave up the f2 pawn because the bishop is guarding all the squares. So practically you can say that he did outplay me at some point.
Yeah. Nice.
So I try to defend, but it's just not enough. I mean, even with like equal positions, equal looking position, it's still very bad. So I cannot come king g8. That's the point. Rook e7, rook e8 is a checkmate.
Well,
So yeah, I mean, what I was saying is even if the position is looking equal, it's not necessarily a draw. Lot of small end game ideas are involved in these lines. So
I see.
you can have a look at most of the games and basically, draw your own conclusion at some point that, okay, this is good. I can convert such positions. I can play such positions more easily. Anything.
Okay.
Okay. And so just before we wrap this Catalan up, I also had a very weird kind of Catalan once in my entire career, where my opponent chose some highly interesting ideas. I have never seen it in any book, so just thought I should just share it with you. So this bishop a7 idea, I mean, it was very strange, and yeah, b5. So this idea I never saw, and it is definitely not like the exact Catalan ideas. But here also I realized that I don't have to always follow the Catalan idea. I can just play according to the position. So, I just got some moves and planned the e4 break uh, at the right moments, yeah. And it seems this works for me without any problem. So basically,
Yeah.
black has not a lot of play. I just rearranged my pieces and, you know, like just converted my advantage into a much better looking end game, you can say. So here I just traded, and so actually this is a feeding error. I played queen a2, double attack, and just won the pawn, and very soon the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, once he allows c5, your job is basically, I mean, just to trade everything off, get an endgame, and
Yeah,
protect your
exactly.
fast pawn, right?
Yes, exactly. So if I just trade everything off and like make the right breakthrough at the right time, it seems that black is struggling already, and black has not a lot of active play in this one.
Yeah.
So seemed to work fine for me.
Yeah.
And there was one other game where black tried to neutralize very early in the game. So it was not exactly like a Catalan looking thing, but it did transpose to a Catalan, you can say. So in this situation, I mean, I actually did not understand what black achieved by making so many knight moves. And I just feel that uh, white is white is now completely Raf, just give me 1 second, please.
Sure. What time are you leaving now?
Yeah, so I just didn't understand the whole point of black wasting a lot of moves, and I just got a pretty decent position straight away. So I think, I mean, just by the looks of these positions, I think White has nothing to worry about, even if your opponent tries something pretty weird in these kind of situations.
So any games where things went wrong for White, just so I can see what not to do?
Sorry, Rafi, can you come again?
I was just saying, any ways, like any examples of how White can go wrong?
Yes, I think I can figure out some. I mean, it's difficult to just say which are the lines where White will go wrong. I mean, since Catalan is something, but yeah, I can definitely show you something. So just give me. I'm gonna try and figure out the game. Oh yes, so here is one. Okay, so this is one line where like I tried this weird E6 G6 setup. This is actually, I mean, this is also a line right now, but I just thought, okay, I can try this in this game. But I think my opponent did play everything correct. Pretty much got a decent position right out of the opening. And I was already, you can see it's already, I mean, black is struggling, yeah, to play in this position. Oh, here I did not understand why e4. I mean, you can pretty much save the bishop and then play e4, yeah. So maybe mistakes like these, where you get like so tempted to gain something, because here you do get the c6 pawn, but you can understand, yeah, this structural deficit will mean I will always have some counterplay, right?
Right.
So I just gave up the pawn, I mean, I said, okay, any pawn you want, you can take, because once the position gets opened up, I will be fine in these kind of situations, yeah. Your pawn structure is like way too broken right now.
Yeah, you have the bishop pair and
Yeah, so I just use that bishop pair thing, and you can even see I'm not bothered about like recovering material and stuff. I just want all my pieces to get active, and okay, once the end game happened, I think I just switch to an endgame. And these positions already with equal material, you cannot defend a very broken pawn structure, yeah.
in the house.
So maybe these are the things you should be careful about and not go for.
Anwes, can you hold for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
There's like a dog trying to get into the house. Hold on.
Okay.
Whose dog? Oh shoot. Hold on. Anwes, 1 second, okay? 1 second.
Yeah, sure. Please.
Sorry, there's just a stray dog. I just want to see if it has a collar or not. Give me just like 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Okay.
Is this dog or is it someone animal? One second, one second.
Okay.
Yes, can you do it? Here. Just look at the caller, see the number. Turn the light on because you better. Sorry, English, I'm back.
Okay. So this is one example as well where I mean I again you can say overextended some of my positional play. So this position is actually pretty decent for white, where you can use this idea of knight fd2 and pretty much just like win back the pawn. So I had a very decent position where I decided to like go for complications. Yeah, so there was probably no need for this one. Later on, I checked that this is actually a part of the theory where you can go queen g4 and be much better in this position. So you just give up the knight, and if he takes, there is rook c1, and this position is considered much better for white here. So apparently there are some sharp lines which you have to probably remember. But okay, I just wanted to show you that even in this position, I think white was doing much okay. But you can see when I'm going for these kind of complicated lines, I better be very sure, yeah, that I'm not doing any positional concession here. So f5 was how to say, like some sort of a tactical error, because I just thought that I have queenie rook a8 here, which kind of traps his queen, and he has to play knight b8. When I remember that, okay, now he can take rook c6. Yeah, I forgot about this move. I was basically hoping that he's in a zugzwang kind of thing, but he has rook c6. So I played c5 and rook c6 happened. So you can see that now I would definitely want my pawn back on f2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I have my pawn back on f2, then I can just play rook b1 and I'll probably be winning in this position. But unfortunately, it's just too weak right now, and I could not manage to deal with this one. Now his knight comes to e5, and okay, it's like too much pressure on me.
Yeah, for sure. King safety is major issue now.
Yes, king safety is like highly compromised, and okay, it's already game over for me now. So maybe these small errors, like maybe you have to be like super sure before you make any positional concession in the Catalan from the white side. Apart from that, I mean, I really don't have like a lot of issues in playing these kind of positions. Even I mean, of course, like with better opening preparation, I would have obviously known queen g4. I later on checked even my material that queen g4 was recommended as well.
I see.
So yeah, I mean, of course, but you keep learning. Yeah, the more you play, the more you learn. So I think only these are the main things that we need to remember. So basically, what I know is for you, it will be a bit more trickier to know these lines with knight c6 and stuff. But you can probably have like some sort of a setup to remember this. So it should not be that tricky. The lines with dc4 are much easier for you to remember. Like they follow a more standard developing move order, so you will be fine with that.
So against knight c6, what do you recommend doing?
So right now they won't play knight c6. I mean, knight c6 lines with so for example, after dc4, bishop g2, and now knight c6. Yeah. So in these lines, so you will go queen a4. Like that's the best way. We will anyway go queen a4. Like I don't want to give you the lines which involve black, defending the pawn with rook b8 and b5.
Okay.
Okay, so I first I want that you learn the normal way of Catalan instead of the sacrificing way of Catalan. So we can just go for this line and it's pretty much okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean I just have this feeling that Catalan will be a much safer way once you just go through all the games that I'll send, and you will pretty much have like a lot of ideas. Obviously, there will be some games which you will feel that maybe we should change something, and then we will discuss that particular line. So, do we need to change it or not?
Okay.
Apart from that, I don't think there is anything else that I can add. Um, I can just try. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
So I just remember there was some weird lines, but maybe I'm mistaken. No, not in Catalan. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, nothing. No, I think we are covering up like all the lines. Oh yes, I should mention you. So there was one strange game where I played. I mean, I faced a very strange move like knight d7, and the idea was if I play this and queen d3, black has the move e5. So this is one weird opening which I once also used myself as black, and I won a very nice game. This game was drawn after some time, but I realized the whole idea and decided to play queen b5 next time. So provoke a6 and come back. So now when e5 happens, I can take on e5 basically. So the point was to go knight b4. So let's say queen c3, queen d4, queen d4, knight c2, king d1. And because you have provoked a6, you can play bishop e3 and bishop b6. So now black has a pretty weird pawn structure, and you have like a extra pawn, yeah, on the king side.
So can I have avoided this entire thing earlier? So let's go back all the way to where this started from. So okay, right when black takes on c4.
Yes, so black takes on c4 right away.
Oh wait. In the line you just showed, did black take on c4 right away, or did he play bishop b4 first?
No. He takes right away.
Okay, so why can't I just play queen a4 now?
We can, but this kind of allows this bishop d7, yeah? And he positions his bishop like perfectly here.
Okay, got it. And you're also not recommending knight e5 instead of queen a4 check knight e5?
Here knight e5?
He has knight c6, right?
No, that is not in this line. That is only when the bishop is on g2 and bishop is on e7. That's a different line, by the way.
Okay.
But here knight e5 makes very less sense, yeah, because black has some queen d5 stuff as well.
Oh shoot, yeah.
Without the bishop on g2, knight e5 makes no sense. I mean, I'm thinking maybe black can also play b5 here as well.
Interesting.
Because there are the lines, yeah, like I'm just hypothetically showing. So it's not like you can win the rook, okay? I can always play c6, and after knight c6, black has queen b6. So you never win the rook basically.
Yeah.
So this is like a common Catalan stuff, even against for like knight e5. So that's the reason we don't play knight e5 instantly if we don't have the bishop on g2. So it's essential to play bishop g2. And now, yeah, now since knight e5 was threatened, black played knight c6. So if that makes sense.
And okay, I see. So knight c6 here, he played. And
So
the only move here is pretty much just queen a4, right?
Yes, actually, I prefer queen a4 here because in the other lines with castles and stuff, black plays rook b8 and b5. So
Right. You can just
you
straight
might
out.
be you might be struggling a bit with it. I mean, it's like, we are going too rash in the Catalan. Yeah, we are just giving up the pawn no matter what.
Right.
So hang on a second. I did have like probably one game where white gave up this one. I just want to show you the consequences of it, and maybe you can basically decide. But I'm pretty sure, like, since I've been working with you for a long time, I know you won't like such positions.
I've already seen the consequences of it, by the way. When back in the day when I used to play it, I've
Uh-huh.
gotten positions where they hold the pawn and it's a nightmare to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you are getting positions like this, okay?
Yeah.
And all right, I mean, if your compensation is not enough, and so for some reasons your kingside attack did not crash through, uh, I don't know, black is just up a pawn, man.
Yeah.
So
I've faced almost this exact position before.
yeah, and I checked with the computer as well, the same situation. I mean, the stockfish is giving like, okay, nearly equal. So that definitely means white is not better, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of like, you have to prove your compensation right now, which was, I mean, in this game, it was very difficult because I just saw that I got I mean, fairly easy position as black. So here I just did not play g5, although there were some reasons for it. I mean, I just didn't want to like risk too much. But even if I got this position, I just felt that my play was like super safe. And okay, black did not achieve, I mean, white did not achieve anything that a Catalan player would be wishing forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt that black is just up a pawn, and I converted this one without any trouble. Like, I'm just up a pawn, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, like, the same material status which happened after like move number 4 was still move number 40. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just feel that I mean, if we are going to sacrifice, we should probably know the best ways to sacrifice. If you are just thinking and we are sacrificing like, okay, it's a Catalan and we can recover the pawn back anytime I want, sometimes you don't get the chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's better to go queen a4 in this position instead of anything else. It's like a much safer approach. And yeah, this tricky line I was talking about with knight d7.
So here, there is okay. There's no knight d2 either because knight b6 comes with an attack on the d4 pawn as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you wouldn't want to play like e3 or something. It's too passive, I think.
Right.
And
So you
also
said queen
e3.
b5 here first.
Sorry?
Uh, queen b5 here first, right?
No, we take on c4, and after knight b6, now queen b5.
Oh, okay.
So the whole point is to provoke a6, and later on cb6 will happen.
And if he doesn't play a6,
He has to play a6, yeah, else he's just down a pawn. I mean, this structure is like horrible, yeah. So we consider this like black is materially down if I get such a position. I mean, if you allow me to castle and play rook d1, then it will be very strange to explain what are these two guys doing here.
Yeah.
So he has to play a6, and I just come back. e5, that's the whole point of this line. Anything else makes no sense. So knight e5, knight b4, and yeah, this whole idea which black had. is refuted by bishop e3, and you just take on b6 and knight c3. So you have an extra pawn, yeah, for the whole game.
Can you go through it one more time, just a little bit slower?
Yeah,
From
queen b5, I can.
this moment. Yeah, from this moment.
So we come back to d3.
E5, right?
And yeah, I mean, black has to play e5. Like, that's the whole point of this one. Again, if it delays from e5, I will just castle and play rook d1. So he has to strike right now. And yeah, I just take on e5.
Hold on one second. And if he just takes the knight,
You mean this
then
one?
we're just up a pawn, right?
Yeah, we're up a pawn, so I'll happily play this one. I mean, I don't think black will have any compensation in this line.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, he has to go knight b4 and queen d4.
And hold on one second before you play the knight. Put the knight on c6 for a second. So does he not have? Nothing can take on d4 either, right? There's no knight d4 or anything like that.
Knight d4 makes, I mean, it's like a non-threatening move. Yeah, just castle here. So bishop f5, I just play e4 and then play bishop e3, knight c3, rook d1, rook c1.
Okay.
Like, I don't see anything happening. I'll just go e4 and knight c3, let's say. So bishop e7, maybe bishop e3 now. Just rook d1. Oops, sorry. Rook d1 after that. I mean, well, first of all, probably you have to go to c6 and I can already damage your structure, yeah? So now I can still play rook d1, or maybe it's even better to prevent knight c4 from happening. So maybe let's just go b3.
Yeah.
This is like a dream position for any Catalan player, because this multiple endgames will be better for white in this one.
Yeah. Black is simply just bad structure, no competition.
Yep. So I don't know. I mean, this feels very good. So I think knight b4 is the only thing. Queen d4 doesn't work. Yeah, bishop c6 comes the check. So knight b4, queen c3, and queen d4. So this is the line. And yeah, as I told you, we can just capture the queen, king d1, and bishop e3. So he has to move the knight back. He does not have like a lot of other moves to defend the knight. I mean, like bishop c5 can be met with b4 and stuff like that. And you really don't want to play c5, because then you are permanently keeping the b7 pawn weak. And most likely for c5, I think I can just play knight c3 and position looks fine for me. Also, maybe we have to consider, what if we just take it, and this is an isolated pawn, yeah, in the long run. So maybe we can just play knight d2, knight b3, and pick this guy up as well. So overall, knight f5, and yeah, we get this position with the slight advantage.
Okay. Makes sense.
So yeah, there may be some trick lines like this, but okay, I'll anyway provide these things, so should be fine.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. If any, I mean, maybe there will be some lines which we will need to discuss, maybe some sharp lines, but we can always come back and revisit them. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that's the whole point. I can just, before we wrap up, I can try and figure out like what So you were asking, like, what goes wrong, right? So,
Yeah. Potential scenarios that are, like you make natural moves, but you still end up worse, anything like that.
yeah, I got that. Okay. Wait a second, I just don't remember.
Son. Just make sure in the nighttime she doesn't chew up anything, or like goes through the trash or anything like that.
Yeah, I know, I got the point, yeah. Well, I think I have to find this game. It's just the names are a bit confusing. Oh no, it's not here.
Son, look at this top drawer shelf right here. Cabinet, I mean, on the left. Very far, like closest, right above the microwave.
Sorry, Rafi, your voice is a bit echoing. What were you saying?
Sorry. I was talking to my friend.
Okay.
talking to you.
Sorry.
See if there's some dog food in there. If so, then give her like half a can. The cabinet. Yes. There should be some in there. If not, then we don't have any. Okay, give her half a can. There should be a dog bowl down there also. And give her some water. And separate. There's there's two slots. Oh, dang. Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah. So this was one time when I tried the same way, to play knight d7 and knight b6. And you can see at the moment I play e5, it's already like my opponent is in some sort of a shock because he has no idea about this line, yeah. So when this happens, players tend to choose the easy way out, and go for some pretty equal looking positions. Now, this is the classic way of going wrong in a game, because right now you are giving black like some queenside pawn majority and pretty much not doing anything to pressurize black, yeah. So black kind of, you know, uh, gradually you can say. So this was like a huge positional mistake, giving up double bishops. So such positions is very easy to play from black. And well, I obviously from this moment onwards, I obviously could easily outplay my opponent because I can see that he's like struggling a lot in this technical aspect. So I just win a pawn and trust the game. So you can see white chose the Catalan and just did nothing and lost the game. Yeah. So the mistake was somewhat around this point, when you choose like some very safe ways to just wriggle out of the opening and try to do nothing. Then you get into some sort of a trouble. So, but now, for example, you already know that you have to play queen b5 and such a position can never arise. You can happily go into these lines.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me like just send you today the Catalan stuff. Start working with that, and I will follow it up with the Caro-Kann stuff. Okay.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Perfect. All right, Rafi. Then I think we can wrap up for today.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you again so much.
Thanks.
Very helpful.
Okay. Thank you, Rafi. See you then.
All right, my friend. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye.